Pilates is changing in the GLP-1 age, and we need to be ready for the person who's walking into that session. I was recently working with a Pilates client who was also in a training running group with a coach that I know. She was going to be training for her first 10K. Now, doing one of our Pilates sessions, I did notice a few things. She was a little shaky, a little weak, despite having what looked like an obviously muscled physique. And she was having more difficulty than usual remembering the sequence of a particular exercise. We were working on rowing 3. She was also experiencing quite a bit of cramping. Now, any of those things can happen to anybody during any Pilates session. They didn't sleep well, they haven't eaten enough, maybe they're dehydrated, they got a lot of stress going on, maybe they had a hard workout yesterday. The body's different every day. But when you've been teaching as long as I have, you learn to pay attention when several little things all start showing up together in one session. Now, of course, we had completed a client intake form, and she had chosen not to tell me that she was indeed taking a GLP-1 medication for weight loss. I happened to know the running coach she was working with, so I reached out. With basic questions. Hey, I know you've been working with her. Have you noticed some things in your sessions? I just want to make sure that everything is okay. And that's when he told me she had recently fainted during one of their group running sessions. She had eventually confided in him that she'd been using the weight loss medication for some time. And that is the conversation I think the fitness industry needs to start having. Not whether or not GLP-1 medications are good, not whether or not they're bad, not whether or not someone should be on them. That's between that client and their qualified medical professionals. What do we need to know when the person taking them is in our Pilates session, in our training appointment, in a group fitness class, group running class? Because they're already here. I've been seeing more and more clients who are using these medications. And trust me, they are not arriving with a flashing sign over their head that says, I'm taking a GLP-1, please modify accordingly. Sometimes they tell us, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they don't think it's relevant. And sometimes they may simply consider it private medical information and choose not to share it. But it means that those of us who are teaching movement, we need to get very good at paying attention to the person in front of us. You can't just simply be delivering the workout that's in your head. A client may come in feeling fantastic one week and unusually fatigued the next week. They may be dealing with nausea or dizziness. Their hydration or their food intake may be different than normal. They may be losing weight quickly. So while they're experiencing all these changes in strength, maybe muscle mass, balance, bone density, they can still look strong and still not actually have the energy available that day for the workout you intended to give them. Balance can be off. All kinds of things can be going on. Let's also talk about those emotional changes that are happening alongside the physical changes. People are commenting on it. Their clothes are fitting differently. Their relationship to food is changing. Their relationship to exercise is changing. And depending on why they're taking the medication in the first place, there may be a whole entire medical story underneath all of that, which is absolutely not our business. What we can say is there's something about today's session that I need to ask an appropriate question. An excellent instructor becomes so much more than someone who just knows repertoire. It's observation, it's communication, it's knowing when to adjust. Maybe today's session needs to be shorter. Maybe the intensity needs to come down a bit. Maybe we'll need longer transitions between exercises or positions. Maybe an exercise that was completely appropriate 2 months ago isn't appropriate today. Maybe we just stop altogether. Maybe sometimes the most professional thing we as instructors can say is, something seems a little different today. Before we continue, I think you should check in with your physician. That's not diagnosing. We're not here to diagnose anyone. We're not practicing medicine. We're just doing our job. Because our job has never been get through the workout. Our job is to teach the human being who's standing in front of us. And this is why I think the GLP conversation in fitness needs to get much bigger than weight loss. The medical side is evolving so quickly. We have to catch up. Gyms, wellness center, every kind of fitness business are partnering with weight loss programs. What does excellent teaching look like in the GLP-1 age? What do instructors need to understand? What should we be asking during intake? And what changes should we make as we're paying attention to our clients? How do we create an environment where clients understand why sharing relevant information with us, it matters? We're not making them feel judged. We're not interrogating. We just need to prepare our instructors for a population whose bodies, energies, strength, relationship to movement might be changing. It might be changing rapidly. Because I don't think the answer is simply another certification. I think it starts with something I have believed for nearly 4 decades. Pay attention to the person you're teaching, not the body you're teaching. Don't worry about the workout they had the day before, what you did with them a week ago, what they were capable of last Tuesday. It's just a wonderful person standing in front of you today. That client training for the 10K didn't need any assumptions about why she was shaky. She needed us as her respective trainers, running and Pilates, to be there to support her. Sometimes excellent teaching means changing the exercise. Sometimes it means changing the entire workout. Sometimes it means knowing when not to teach at all. This conversation is only going to become more important as we find more and more clients are using these medications. So let's keep talking about it. Are you already seeing this in your Pilates business with your fitness clients? Have you noticed changes in energy, strength, balance, endurance, recovery, anything else? Have you been adjusting exercises in the moment? I would love to hear what you're experiencing on the floor. Because the more we share what we're seeing, the better prepared all of us are to take excellent care of the people who trust us with their bodies. Talk soon.